There we go. Hey guys, Facebook, namaste. God bless. How the hell are all of you? How are you? I'm in this like insomniatic coma. Pardon the pun. My God. I missed you guys last night. I apologize. I'll make up for it as I always do on America's Mentor. But work had me go to the beach today, man. Yeah, I had to go to the beach today. Beautiful out too, but not actually the beach. There's a place down there. I had to go work out today. A store down there, and I'm always toting the fact. I'm saying, be the best you, and all good will come back to you. Right? That's my mantra. I live by it. I swear, I actually do, and it actually paid off today too. Because anybody who's in the field of retail or anything like that, and there's a corporate visit coming in, and you guys notice, it's a friggin' madhouse for days. Even in the professional field, there's a madhouse getting the place up to par, get your paperwork in order, and blah 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 blah. Well, I got called to this store way down yonder. It's like a 45-minute drive, so I'm driving in the middle of the night, literally, to get to this place. And you're driving along, deer. Oh, skunk, great. It was a big slalom going all the way down there, but it was very peaceful and it was awesome. That was actually the original show for tonight. I was focusing on peace, but I wanted to get the words correctly and a little bit more mentally coherent to present it to you because it's really powerful. But this show literally just came up I was doing my laundry. I'm like, hey, I could do that. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that. And it's really powerful. So listen up. Get to the store. It's a one-man operation down there in my department. Literally that small. This place is probably a write-off for the company, literally just to keep it open. I could have went in there, it's going to be an easy vacation day, and I'll just drive all the way back home. Easy payday. But I have this mentality of just being the best me and knowing that all good will come back to me. And I'm not touting it. It's what I live by because I benefited so much from being it. Getting back to the story, making everything as I normally would do in the biggest store, doing it top tier as I always do, giving it 1,000%. Even if I had one little piece, I gave it 1,000%. 3 to 4 hours into my shift, Richard, I mind you, I went there in the middle of the night. The store starts opening up, and I start seeing suits come in. I'm like, oh, what's the suits, man? What's going on? And they're all coming towards me, every single one of them. One started coming in. I'm like, wow, you came out all the way from Jersey to come up to this little stop on the little pit stop. And he said, wait, there's more. It was like an infomercial. And all the suits started coming in to my department because they were doing a reset and a reevaluation and a redecoration. So basically, I set myself up by being that best, by putting out imagine if I went in there with that kind of vacation mode attitude. And people are, you meatballs are guilty of that. If the big guys aren't around, you're going to kind of slack off. I've learned that if you need to slack off, you shouldn't be there in the first place. And honestly, you give it 1,000%, you're going to get 1,000% back. But if you're unhappy, that means you're going to slack off or you're going to have issues. I just went in, did my best, made all this awesome stuff that I always do because, it sells. It's a really good seller. These guys came in there. I had no idea. And I just set myself up to not to be a sycophant. No, meatball, get it out of your head. No, just to be the best me and show a representation of who I was. And it worked out very well. Sadly, that goes wholeheartedly with what I'm going to pronounce tonight. It's really cool. Give you guys some popcorn, sit back and take a listen because this is really cool. I'm going to explain about time. Yeah, that time thing. People think there's time. No, there's all different facets of time. And whatever time you choose to live in is the time you create from. But I just posted this reel. Have a look-see on it. I got some powerful living color music with it. The group Living Color, it's called The Cult of Personality, not the quote, the actual song. And it's so true because it states in the reel, some people are judged for being real, while others are loved for being fake. I can guarantee you, if you are completely and wholeheartedly true to yourself, you are living in the present. And as Lao Tzu, the Chinese philosopher, said, and I'll make a note of it, and I'll explain that word I'm going to bring to your guys' attention. Lao Tzu was awesome. he got fed up with the way China was being run. I think it was 1,000 years ago. I'm not precise on the exact time. Took his oxen and split. He went up in the mountains, and he wrote the Tao Te Ching. And basically, it's a way of living that'll bring you peace in your life. It only has like 80 verses to it. It's like a Chinese Bible, basically. And he noted in one of his verses, I don't quote me on the verse. I don't have the exact verse number per se. But he quoted this, and this works wholeheartedly with how we live every single day. If you're depressed, and you heard this before, you've probably seen posts like this if you follow inspirational quotes. But this one is powerful because I'll explain why. If you're depressed, you're living in the past. If you're anxious, you're living in the future. If you're at peace, you're living in the present. That's from Lao Tzu. What does that mean? In the past, the past can hold a whole host of things, including judgment. Like I mentioned before, you notice how people are so judgmental now because there's no real physical interaction anymore. It's all like this, and there's no real feeling on that. And Abraham Hicks had a couple great quotes on that. But being judged, I mean, you don't have to worry. If you're being real with yourself, you're living now. You're being happy with yourself. You're on the pathway to success. You just got to be that, and it's going to be drawn to you. That's the most amazing thing. If you're anxious about what can happen or pretend, this is what I'm talking about, the corporate visit, what can potentially happen. Everybody gets anxious and crazy. They go into this fear monger mode and they get crazy. You start living like that every day, detrimental to your health, most importantly. But you start pushing away everything you've always wanted to create. And I just whacked my microphone. Hopefully you guys didn't hear that. I got it on very low tonight. And most importantly, the end. This is what I go by and practice with every day, mind you. I journal it, I practice it, and I try to be it as much as I can every single day. If you're living at peace, you are living in the present. And indeed, they call it a gift for a reason. If you're living now, you're being yourself, you're being the best you. Shit like what happened today won't even faze you because you know you're being the best you. This is what I mean. You're presenting to the world every single day that person you've always wanted to be. And that word I was going to bring up to you guys, it's really cool because it goes wholeheartedly with what Lao Tzu was talking about. And it may sound spiritual, but indeed it is. We are spirits having a human experience. Remember that. We are not humans having a spiritual experience. We are spirits because we are infinite. And when I learned that, because you got to realize we never go. We just go one way to a different dimension. And you guys can believe it or not. God bless if you do or don't. It's up to you. But it brings me a lot of peace in my beliefs and what I've seen in my research and my history on and what I've learned about. Dimension is awesome. Dimension, hence time dimension, is exactly what Lao Tzu was talking about. Dimension, a noun, a level of existence and or consciousness. As I'm spitting on my own little phone tonight. Thank God it's a big phone. It kind of misses and shoots to the right and left. A level of existence. Wow. That's what he was talking about, to be more succinct with what he was getting to. If you're depressed, you're in the existence of the past. You're living in that time dimension. Does that make sense? If you're in anxious mode, you're living in something that hasn't happened yet. In that time dimension. We're all creating from whatever dimension of time we're living in. Does that make sense? So in essence, with synonyms of, how should we say, dimension, is realm. Your kingdom. Your thinking, your thought patterns, who you are as a person, that dimension of time you're living in, whether it's now, past, or future, is creating what's going on out there. So it's vital for you to make that choice every day. What dimension of thinking or living do you want to live in? Because you can create the most beautiful things from living now and being that real person, no matter what the outside world says, even though right now life is evolving into the impersonal instead of personal, sadly. And hopefully that changes because direct interaction with other people is so vital for personal experiences. Abraham Hicks said it correctly. It's so cool because this is what you're gonna create by whatever dimension of thinking you're living in, past, present, or future. The universe doesn't understand English, Spanish, any language at all. It understands vibration. So we are a creation machine. As I mentioned many times on America's Mentor, we are a creation machine from our feelings, our thoughts, our feelings, and our vibration of energy that we give off every day. We create from that. And if you guys truly believe that thoughts become things, you realize and you'll understand what dimension that you're living in. If you're not creating what you want, you're living perhaps in the past, or perhaps too much in the future, getting worried about it and you're scaring it away. But if you're living in now, this dimension, this present of time, you are creating from that because you're giving off the feelings and the vibrations of that. Does that make sense? And it's awesome because you also noted in there, and this is what few people really grasp hold of, and I'll let you guys enjoy your Thursday, man. She mentioned, I am the creator of my own reality, and I like it. A lot of us are creating realities that we don't like, but don't even realize that we're creating the reality because we're living from a different dimension, a different time realm of thinking that we're pushing out every single day and not even realizing it. If you can get in that present mode now of whatever you're trying to have, be, or do in life, it's going to manifest because you're going to be in that vibration. Whatever vibration of energy you carry every day in thought and feeling, you won't have to judge anymore because you're just creating the life you always wanted to be, attracting the right people that you want there, the right moments, situations, circumstances, events. Got it, get it, done. Really, it's really that simple. But it takes time. Pardon the pun. Conditioning, in essence, what I do every day. Here's a great example. If there's a dimension of time that I've really stuck in my head that is a real pain in my ass, I'll journal a page on trying to recondition a better mode of thinking about that. With repetition, you get better. It's like building a muscle. So for instance, like if you have a fear of love, and you have to recondition yourself to feel love in order to give love. Does that make sense? So this is basically what I do every day. It's a pep talk to recondition what was already put there, to put me into a better realm of thinking, a better realm of creating. And when you get to that spiritual aspect of yourself, you'll realize what you're bringing. So what dimension of thinking are you in? What are you in the past constantly? You can't trust people. You're judgmental. You're always scared of certain things in life and you won't open up. That's what you create. You're in the future where you don't know what's going to happen. You're fearful and all these things might happen, but they haven't, but you're actually creating them by thinking about them. Or you can live in the present and start creating from now. And however way you do it, man. I journal it every day. I affirm it every day. I think about it every day. The 45-minute drive down and up. Coming back up was kind of hard. I was kind of falling asleep. But going down, I turned the radio off and just thought and gave thanks and said, oh, and I mean, you put yourself in the state of having it, you're going to have it. You're going to attain it. You're going to manifest it, but you got to believe in it. You got to understand how powerful you really are and stop sweating like I do, man. So it's getting hot up here. I got to call this shit off. Like guys, America, hopefully this helped. I'll say it to you one more time. If you're depressed, you're living in the past. Think about it. Think about what realm of time you're living in to create that. If you're anxious, you're living in the future. And if you're at peace, you're living in the present. So whatever poison, or pick your poison wherever you want to live in life, is where you're going to create from. And I can say it 1,000 times, and until you guys jack it into your system and truly understand who you are, a spirit having a human experience, you'll start manifesting the most beautiful things. So guys, enjoy your Thursday. America's Mentor _ a little slow tonight. On Instagram, at America's Mentor, Twitter, at America's Mentor, on YouTube. Guys, thanks for the Jackson views on the reels. Hopefully this helped. Take a look at the reel. You'll realize that if you're living in the present, you're only creating from there. You don't have to live in the other realm of the past or the other realm of a future that's not here yet. Realize you're creating that future right now. Guys, enjoy your night. I'll see you guys soon, man.